and they actually have like Smithy is a god in the jungle. He is really, really good at counter ganking. He sets up a lot of really good ganks. He like sets up good first blood ganks with Nunu, who is not a jungler who can gank that effectively for the most part. And I think the biggest reason that Vulcan is so good. Well, okay, I guess Smithy is really good in the jungle. Mancloud's mechanics in mid lane are fantastic. His Jace is just like godlike. Last season he had last split he had some incredible Nidalee plays. Nidalee not played quite so much anymore, but his Orianna is really good. His Jace is really good. Bloodwater is the best zone on the server by a lot. Oh no, I didn't write down the...
I did! I picked them up this time because you were busy, so I took the time to type those up. The chat bans were Zyra, Cass, Kayle, and Kha'Zix. I'm just going to briefly touch on those for a moment. Zyra, a lot of AoE damage, very good zoning ability, lots of crowd control. Kassadin, great chase and escape, has a very powerful silence.
You should
slow
put the
as
chat
well.
to summoner blockers.
I got him.
Okay.
And then Kayle. Kayle has good chase, a lot of damage. She's a ranged AD that can hit your whole team. That's very scary. And Kha'Zix, very, very powerful assassin. Either kills someone outright or does enough damage to force them out of the fight. We're seeing Annie and Wukong banned as well. Annie, durable character because of Molten Shield, brings a stun to the table. A lot of AoE damage. Wukong, crushing blow, armor reduction, has an airborne as well. And, Kilsendo, I can't rip those VODs from Twitch because I don't own the channel. The channel is owned by Curse. So I need them to pull the VODs down to give them to me in a format that I can cut up. The channel owner has to be able to download them. And looks like Nidalee Brand being banned as well. Brand also
that Nidalee ban, not too surprising after last game.
Yeah, man, Nidalee's pretty scary. Talk about Brand real quick. Brand, a lot of zoning ability, brings a stun to the table, but he really forces enemy positioning very in a powerful way because of Pyroclasm's ability to chain Pillar. You don't want Conflag to chain either. Nidalee, amazing poke, best poke in the game. Gives vision to her team, gives some sustain as well. Her kit's amazing. She does suffer in straight up fights a little bit. She can get ganked, but you have to go through her damage typically to get to her. And then Elise brings a stun to the table. Fairly durable character. Still very powerful. They banned Brand because they don't want... I guess they don't want to deal with the brick oven. Huh, there's a plugin for that. I did not know that. Kilsendo. If you want to tell me the name of the plugin in the chat, I'll look into that. They said I can do the VOD production for them, I just need to get the file. So, it's okay that I cut up the VODs, because they want me to do the VODs. I just haven't gotten the video from them. Last one's going to be Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, that's probably banned because I have no idea, actually. I just know Kog'Maw's damage can get out of control, and he can interrupt from a very far distance. That sentence was awful, but you know what I mean.
So Mike is super cool and has told me that Kog'Maw is a targeted ban against the Parkers. So...
I didn't know Parky played Kog. I faintly remember that. But I know him more for Nidalee and Mal's. You definitely don't want a Parkhurst to get Nidalee. If his mechanics are still up to par... A Parkhurst character that was, Parkhurst is a character that is picked by a lot of different champions in this game, but he fell out of popularity for a while for some reason. I'm not sure. Maybe there was a patch or something that changed how powerful a Parkhurst is, and characters stopped using him as their summoner. But now, over the last couple of weeks, we're starting to see this resurgence in a Parkhurst selection. So maybe there's something to that we don't know. Maybe there's some stealth patch notes. I'm not sure about it. But it's been seeming pretty solid the last couple of weeks.
It's apparently a bot lane Kog'Maw with a mallet, Wit's End, and a decently tanky build. So
that doesn't sound very friendly at all.
That sounds really strong. Actually, Wit's End sounds ridiculously good on Kog'Maw.
Looking at the champions that are being picked. Maokai, very durable, very sustainable character, powerful crowd control as well. We're seeing Cassiopeia on this side, extremely high sustained damage and AoE damage as well. Urgot, very safe ranged AD character. Singed locked in as well. Maybe we'll see that passed over to MMKH. Might be able to see some MMKH Singed play this game, and I'd be really excited to see that. But Urgot is a safe, long-range character. Singed, very durable, makes for a great dive. He's fast, brings some crowd control, a lot of AoE damage as well. And then we're seeing Gragas and Jarvan. Jarvan, AoE airborne, Cataclysm spawns terrain, boxes people in, he has a slow. Jarvan's probably one of the best champions in Dominion. He gets picked constantly. He makes plays constantly. Jarvan is probably one of the best characters in this game mode. You might want to run like Wukong over him, but you never get to play Wukong. You end up with Jarvan. You always end up with Jarvan. And Jarvan's great.
We saw Wukong earlier in one game, didn't we? Oh no.
I think
I was just talking about he was in a game I was playing earlier. I have played a game that I cast it. In the Summoner's Rift game I casted earlier today for Collegiate LoL. There was a Wukong, and he ran Exhaust Ignite, went top lane, backdoored through the inhibitor, went bottom lane, backdoored through the inhibitor, then he tried to backdoor the Nexus, died a whole bunch, and then his team won 4 versus 5. Yeah.
Well, that must have been interesting to cast.
It was a very fun game to cast. It was super back and forth, and at one point the team with 3 inhibitors down and 0 turrets left, including Nexus turrets. Everything was pushed, including the inhibitors. They were winning every single team fight.
Wow, that's maximum scare. And seeing Gragas, a lot of AoE damage, good character. Usually see him in the bottom lane. We're seeing an Ezreal as well. Ooh, Sauron Jarvan. Sauron was one of the first top tier Jarvan players. The Sauron Jarvan actually predates his Jax, I believe. So his if you guys were scared of Sauron's Jax, his Jarvan can also be as powerful. We're seeing Ezreal as well. Ezreal is also a safe ranged AD carry. Safe ranged AD. I don't like to say the word carry because you can carry in Dominion, sort of, but you don't get rampantly out of control too often.
Please tell me you're not going to use the word marksman.
No, why would I use that? That's an awful phrase. It takes too long to say.
It is the worst. It is the worst thing ever.
Marksman.
There are 80 carries, and they will always be 80 carries, even if they don't carry games.
Yeah, marksman has too many long syllables in it that I don't like to say that. Real talk about speech really quick. Sometimes I say things in a particular way just because they're simpler to say that way, and it gives me more time to actually talk about the game if I shorten things in some manner. So I use some abbreviations and things like that in my casting. I try to explain them to you as best I can if I use one that you guys aren't familiar with, but it gives me more time overall to talk about team fights and things like that. So the speech and the things that you say are very, very important to casting because you want to maximize the amount of information that you can give to your audience. So sometimes that requires you to change up the way that you speak sometimes in order to convey the information better. Marksman does have less syllables, you're right, no, but they're all long. Marksman. Marksman. They're just drawn out.
I just think it's a dumb word.
You don't like M's, do you?
I don't know.
They're delicious candy.
I think that their reasons for not using the word AD carry is silly, because late game, the only person who can actually carry a game at 50 minutes when everyone's 6-item build is the AD carry. That's why they're the carry, because they're the only person who can push town towers like that.
I just say ranged. I don't like that one either, really, but I don't like M's. It's really easy to not have an M be heard. If you're speaking quickly, it's really easy to underemphasize that and have it be skipped over entirely.
Super Pickles. As a support main, I love what Super Pickles said. Yeah. it's the guy who bitches about being weak all the time.
That's a direct quote from the Twitch chat?
Yeah.
If you guys want to be a part of the Twitch chat as well, guys, make sure if you're a VOD viewer, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/DominateDominion, and you can check that out. on the live show, and you can be part of the Twitch chat with us, and you can hang out, watch some Dominion. It's fun times. Talk with us. It's good stuff. Seeing a Ziggs as well. Commander Peoples not playing Ziggs. I, as a joke, said to Commander Peoples a few days ago, he's like, who else do I need to make viable in Dominion? I'm like, would you make Ziggs viable? And then I see the Ziggs pick, and I'm like, oh no, is he really going to do it? But instead, no, he doesn't. Parkhurst on Ziggs, though. Instead, over on the other side, we're going to see Syndra, probably bottom lane Corval on Syndra, is what I would expect from that. Syndra is not terribly good in the top lane because she's really easy to get to and kill. Uh-oh, people's heard me. The chat, the stream delay caught up. Another thing that I'm seeing that I really, really like is Singed Cassiopeia is also a very, very good combination with each other. They both do a lot of poison damage.
Yeah.
The AoE from Singed. There you go. And Hype People's response in the twitch.tv/DominateDominion channel's chat is, whoa, 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 just because my team can't play tanks doesn't mean I don't get the glory for Ziggs. To which is a Mike, another very high ELO player in Dominion, says, all Parky, Calm Peoples doesn't play Ziggs. This is why I like the Dominion community. If you want to be part of this community, you guys know where to find us. Twitch.tv/DominateDominion and our in-game chat channel, Dominate Dominion. Click chat room's control panel in the lower right. Click create or join a chat room. Type in Dominate Dominion. Make sure to capitalize the D in Dominate and the D in Dominion. It's all one word, no spaces. I'm not completely sure, but why risk it? Because you want to get to that chat channel.
I'm trying this right now. I cannot believe it's case sensitive.
I don't think it is, but hey, whatever.
No, it's definitely not, because I'm in a chat channel that I didn't capitalize anything, and it's fine.
Man, now I have to rewrite my whole little speech. But we are at the loading screen for the round of 4 game, DominateDominion.com, League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 68. Number 67 is lost, and we may never find it. We have Commander Peoples playing as Maokai, Half-Hearted playing as Gragas, Sauron playing as Jarvan IV, Parkhurst playing as Ziggs, Ro4 playing as Ezreal. That's like a high ELO roll call, and they make up the team Clueless. And on the other side, who do we have?
She's Enema. It is going to be Lurch on Cassiopeia, Craig on Singed, Fancy Wolf playing Urgot, MMKH on Blitzcrank last game, Trundle this game, and Corval on Syndra.
And just to note what I said about Clueless being a high ELO roll call, Sauron was the captain of what was at one time the top team, Point Defense. Parkhurst played on what was also the top team for a good stretch of time, Blind Pick Banditos. Half-Hearted also played on what was and is currently the top team. He also played for Pays Evelyn Child Support. Commander Peoples was never regularly on a team during that time. He was a very high ELO sub that would, move on to teams if they were missing someone. So he was sort of like a high ELO mercenary. And Wolferer, if I remember correctly, played for Amputees at one time. Amputees who took a lot of 3rd and 4th places in Dominion competition. So when you put all of those together, this is sort of an all-star team. Commander Peoples actually regularly on a team, or is he subbing again? I'm actually not sure whose roster he belongs to, because there have been some team roster changes over the past couple of months. But you take one person from each of the top teams that has ever existed, Point Defense, Blind Pick Banditos, and Pays Evelyn Child Support, you put them together on a team, and it's no wonder that Clueless is so successful, taking first place last week in the 2-day event, the LoL Pro Dominion Showdown. Big thank you to Curse, Leaguepedia, Reign of Gaming, and LoL Pro for putting on that show last weekend. That was very, very fun to watch. But this week, DominateDominion.com, number 68, with a pause screen.
There we go. We haven't had one so far today, so actually we had. But
we had one briefly.
Yeah. And it looks like there's the reconnect from Wolfer, so I'll go ahead and look at the chat. My chat is off. Alright, so
looks like Wolfer reconnected, so we should start up in just a moment. So we'll probably see Corval down bottom, and probably a Parkhurst or Half-Hearted, or Peoples, or Wolfer. There's 4 people that can bottom lane. This is cute. They're just running in a circle. They have to get that exercise. Ziggs' legs are short, though. It takes him a lot more effort to run in a circle than other people.
That's true. He's
using
just
the
a little
clairvoyance.
yordle.
I wish I could move my spear as fast as Jarvan does, man. That guy's, arm muscles are just they have to be ridiculous for him to be able to flip that thing around. Oh, either that or it's made out of aluminum. It's just really light.
Yeah, it could just be like one of those mock-ups that you make to go to a Ren Fair if you can't afford something real.
Ren Fair. And hey, Texas Renaissance Festival is actually going to happen in, I think there's one in Raleigh, North Carolina right now. Not Raleigh, in North Carolina. I don't know why I said Raleigh, but there's one in North Carolina that's owned by the same one that I work for every year, which is pretty cool. I wish I could work that one. I got both teams off to a start here. Moving on towards the top part of the map. And let's watch Cassiopeia's running animation for a moment. There we go. Clairvoyance goes down, shows them the order that they're in. And whoa, a bunch of damage right away from a Parkhurst. Mal throwing some out as well, but the sapling does not quite reach. And a Parkhurst off to a pretty good start with the poke.
Ziggs's zone control is absolutely amazing. Not just in the windmill fight, but for the entire game. He can just throw down that explosive minefield. When Krag is running in, that's what you want to do on Singe. Now you're going to, basically you run in and then you run away. And meanwhile, Half-Hearted is just sort of being chased by MMKH. Krag in the middle again. He is running in and he does die here. Parkhurst is exhausted trying to get away from Fancy Wolf. He's going to go down. Trundle now in the middle of two. Wuk4 trying to kite backwards. There's the exhaust on the MMKH. One more Q and he will be dead. There's the Q. Fancy Wolf going to be stopped by Wuk4 from going any further, but Krag with the revive. Lurch meanwhile did capture the windmill, so the windmill fight was technically won already by Choose Enema. And there's going to be another kill. Cassiopeia gets that one. Half-Hearted, you don't have that much health. You can't really chase the Singe. You gotta be careful.
Oh dear, MKH tries to connect with him. Half-Hearted does manage to pick up the relic, and oh, Peoples is saving Half-Hearted. Half-Hearted gets a chance to throw in a little bit of damage too as well. Just sending a shot over the wall, and oh dear! Half-Hearted, why?
So Half-Hearted has his revive, and Trundle does not. So he's going to be able to revive, but he's actually not choosing to.
If they need to, they can bring him up. But for the moment, it seems like that is not the case. Sauron, Jarvan, bottom lane, and just Corval's dead already. 3 minutes, 20 seconds in the game, Sauron has secured 1 kill in the bottom lane. Sauron can play pretty much any position, top, bottom, whichever one. And he's going to dash away and escape Fancy Wolf, and he's not going to die in return. So he just straight up gets an advantage. So a small one for now, over Corval. Up at the top, they're sieging up pretty well at this top point. With a Parkhurst and Wuk4, Ziggs and Ezreal, that's a lot of damage. And oh, the explosive cask!
Those long-range AoE ults and not quite so long-range AoE ults are all very, very strong. There's another long-range AoE ult, and Wuk4 with the kill. People's trying to get away from MMKH will be able to do so. MMKH just sort of gives up and says, okay, I'm just gonna auto-attack you a little bit now, and now I'm dead.
As, bottom lane, Sauron, oh, the Cataclysm on Corval. Syndra does not have an escape mechanic, frantically trying to take him out, not able to do so. Sauron 2 kills up on his lane opponent already at 420 in the game.
I'm a little bit surprised that Corval didn't go for an early Seekers and instead going for the Haunting Guys, I think. I guess I don't know item builds on Dominion that well, but if you were Syndra against Jarvan on Summer Drift, 100% you would go Seeker's Arm Guard first item. So it's actually a little bit surprising to me to not see that, because you really do want to get that armor just so you're a little bit more survivable.
Engagement in the center, Trundle taken out first. Very uncharacteristic for the Trundle to be the first one to go down, but it's still early on in the game and doesn't have a lot of that crazy durability yet. Krauog moving in with the Insanity Potion. He's going to back away. Maokai still alive. It's a 4v3 if this engagement happens. Fancy Wolf able to land some damage on Half-Hearted. There's the Clairvoyance, lets him see exactly what's going on. Twisted Advance into Lurch. A Parkhurst able to throw out a lot of damage. True Shot Barrage helping to take him down. Urgot gets picked off as well.
And the Petrifying Gaze was used by Lurch right before he died, so he's not going to have that ult for quite a while. It's a decently long cooldown. Good pillar by MMKH to disengage there a bit, but it's not going to be enough. Actually, it will be enough. Uses the ultimate onto Wuk4 there. Subjugate, dealing a little bit of damage there. Syndra now actually just being chased away from the point by Sauron, and Sauron 3-0 now against Syndra, or 2-0 against Syndra. The other kill went over to the Roamer. Cage now dueling Peoples, and the bomb comes. Nice kill secure from Ziggs. That was actually really necessary to secure that kill, otherwise I think Maokai would have died.
The important thing to note here is how Half-Heart and Sauron still have the revives available. They have not been forced into a position where they have to use that yet. So they are a little bit safer now than the enemy team, who has blown all 5 of theirs at the moment. And Corval pushing onto this top point. Ooh, explosive cast, knocking Krog back into Half-Heart's immediate threat range, and Half-Heart able to take him down.
Yeah, the explosive cast came down, and is a good crowd control there. Picked up 2 kills now, or picked up the kill. Gonna go ahead and recall. Storm Shield will be safe for Cage to pick up right now, so they'll have that little bit of an advantage. And everyone comes down. Parker's wanting the Storm Shield. People's coming in for a little bit of heal. You can just see how disrupted that explosive minefield is. Oh, Parker's taking a lot of damage there, but he has team, and team will help him pick up kill.
Faint's Wolf almost killed by that True Shot Barrage. Ezreal's True Shot Barrage, very powerful when you first get it, just because its base damage is so high compared to the current health of anyone at that particular time. And Corval, oh dear, once again defeated by Sauron's Jarvan in the bottom lane. I believe that puts him up 4 against him now.
It
looks like 3 with 1 of those was an assist.
I really don't like that hunting guy's first item on Syndra when you're already behind to an AD. I think if she had maybe gone for a little bit more of a defensive route with the Seeker's Arm Guard, she might have done a lot better.
And Clueless capturing the drill, are able to capture the drill, not able to catch the bottom, and Clueless in a 4-cap position against Cheese Enema. Very uncharacteristic to see at this level of play.
There's a 2-shot barrage, explosive cast comes across, also Barrel picks up the kill, hyperkinetic position reverser, misses the body slam with the exhaust, and Sauron comes in, as Joe picks up the kill.
And Corval retreating down to the bottom lane. There's really not a lot Corval can do in this position except for delay for a little while, and delaying is what you want to do. So even though Corval cannot win this fight, he just wants to keep them from capturing. He buys a few seconds. MKH is able to get in close, but knocked back by a Parkhurst. And they're going to lose that tower as well. So brief 4.5 cap. Looks like it's going to be another 4-1 for more time still in this game.
Yeah, so the drill does get saved there by Cheese Enema. Looks like MMK trying to go for some sort of backdoor, maybe just catching off Half-Hearted here. But it's pretty hard to catch a Gragas. There's a body slam used for damage. Good fling by Singe. They might actually be able to. Petrify and Gaze only is a slow. And Urgot does pick up the kill. Great 2-shot barrage, hits 3 there by Ezreal. Sauron will go down. That's a shutdown for Trundle. And exhaust onto a Parkhurst. He needs to get out. And he will do so. The exhaust onto Urgot. Double kill for Ziggs. And MMK with just a sliver of health could die to minions if it weren't for the health relic. Probably will die to champions. Puts down that pillar, but there is the EQ. And the kill goes over to Wolf for no assist.
And Half-Hearted is not going to be able to get the full capture on this. He may not even get the neutral. Yes, he is going to be chased away by Krog. Singed. Throws out a little bit of damage against them, but Krog seems completely unfazed by that. He seems to not have any fear of Gragas at all.
And Sauron once again just jumping onto Corval there. The ult comes down. Cataclysm picks up another kill. Syndra cannot 1v1 Jarvan right now.
No, it is a very unfortunate matchup in the bottom lane. Cinder not having an escape mechanic, cannot escape from the Cataclysm at all. MKH having to try and bail out the tower, but the tower getting pushed neutral by the minions, and is going to go neutral. Sauron is going to be able to keep this delayed and neutral for quite a while against MKH, at least until someone arrives as backup.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit surprised they didn't switch Syndra out a little bit earlier, just because once you start to snowball backwards in that matchup, as Syndra, the only thing that you're good for is being able to 100-0 people and assuming that you're dueling. And once you get that far behind Jarvan, that's never going to happen. And Syndra really needing help, but the rest of the team sort of unable to deal with the rest of Clueless, and so the help just never came.
And Fancy Wolf being picked up by Gragas. Lurch now taking a lot of damage, and Sauron, while this is going on, Sauron taking the Boneyard, and they may end up 5-capping in this engagement.
Ro4 with a hero escape here from Coravel, just juking every single force of will and juking the Scatter the Weak also. Didn't actually pick up the health relic there. He's just going to try and go ahead and recall here. A little bit of a sneaky location.
Crowd is going to take the bottom point down, and Clueless with a 5 cap against Enema. This is... Clueless is looking absolutely dominant in this engagement, and that is because of some of the bottom lane engagements that we've had. Corval really not being able to gain any ground there against Jarvan at all. And Jarvan constantly pressuring that bottom tower and forcing responses from the enemy team there, weaken their position at the top part of the map, and just create a lot of imbalanced engagement. Great Cataclysm! Boxes 4 people in, but Half-Hearted, unfortunately, did not have the explosive cast to throw into that.
And Commander Peoples is definitely going to die to the poison here. There he does go down. Coravel's still surviving, but Ro4 with 1 kill needs to make sure he doesn't get kited too hard here. And Syndra with the ultimate is exchanged 1-for-1 double kill for Ezreal there. Parker's getting chased down. Tried to use his W to get out, but it was just not quite in time. Saucer Charge couldn't quite do it. And for the first time in the game, or the second time I guess, it might be a 3 cap for Enema.
Enema? I don't like the odds of being able to come back from this. You can always come back in Dominion, which is one of the things that I think makes this game mode so amazing to cast and to play in, is you can always work your way back out from where you are. But with only Cassiopeia up at the top, if Clueless gets control of this tower, I don't know how they're going to be able to pull it back.
So that was a good Petrifying Gaze in that it hit 2 people and stunned them, but there was absolutely 0 follow-up, and Parkhurst was able to just capture the point. There the True Shot Barrage comes across. In bot lane, MMKH is just dying to Sauron. With just auto-attack, Sauron picks that one up. Didn't even need his Cataclysm. It was down, but Fancy Wolf now getting jumped on, and there's going to be yet another kill. Ziggs picking up that one. Ziggs 10, 3, and 9. Very good score, and score is everything, so I figured I should bring that up.
Yeah, he's been having a good game so far. Corval, unfortunately, not having such a great game. And they put a lot of pressure on the drill, not able to make a play for it, unfortunately. Lurch, oh dear. A lot of damage on Lurch. Fling from Crowd, sends him in range of Fancy Wolf, and he's going to get taken down by Syndra. And
Hyperkinetic position reverser there onto Half-Hearted, but Fancy Wolf goes down. 4-3-2, and that is going to be, game is going to be Clueless. Moving on to the finals after taking down Enema. I assume they're going to be facing Hazel and Child Support, but...
It may be. Hazel and Child Support is known to lose once in a while. Is a thing. That could
looks like
happen.
that game not over yet, so...
We're going to have to wait a couple of minutes for that one to finish, and we'll find out. It's Hazel and Child Support against who?
Safanda, yeah.
Okay. One of my, like, in the extended, like, clan web of Vato clan, Riois says, "Holy crap, you have a lot of videos." Oh yeah, man, I have so many. Shoutouts to Riois for being a cool guy. And let's take a look at this post-game screen. Just closing all the PMs. There's so many of them. Alright, and... ta-da! Load? Please? There we go. Okay, post-game screen. Take a look at the items that were built during that game. And nothing jumps at me as too out of the ordinary. Everything's pretty standard. Build-wise, Crowd with the swiftness, you only really ever see those if someone is playing Singed. Syndra did eventually get that Seeker's Arm Guard, but you're right, did not open with that. And no one really getting too far in the build. That was a fairly shorter game than most. Let's take a look at the damage dealt to champions for that. Oh, Ziggs out in front by a pretty fair margin. And the graveyard hero of that game is going to be Trundle. Let's go ahead and kick over to a commercial for a little bit as we wait for the results of the other round of 4 game, and then we'll be back in just a couple of moments.